Welcome back to the show. You're just in time for Unfiltered. Today's guest is a former NFL player with the San Diego Chargers and the Kansas City Chiefs, and is the founder of two organizations, Legacy Pro Sports and Pure Recovery California. Please welcome to our show, Mr. Brandon Siler. Let's go. Ladies first, ladies first. Yes, sir, yes, sir, brother. Brandon, sir.
Good to have you.
Put the guns up, Brandon. Jesus, you can't even.
This is what you look like if you keep working out.
If I keep working out, I need to train with you. No, seriously. Welcome to our show. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule to come and chat with us. So before we dive into all your success of your organizations, tell our viewers just a little bit about yourself.
I think I'm just a kid from Pine Hills.
All right.
You know, I'm just a kid that's a big dreamer.
Okay.
And I work hard, and I try to make everything that I dream about happen.
Hey, I ain't mad at
That's
that.
it.
Okay, I like simple. Oh, you gonna be easy.
That's simple.
So how do you go from a former athlete playing in the NFL, and I know that's a whole nother experience, to being such a successful entrepreneur and opening all these businesses? How did that switch happen for you?
I think when I got done playing in the NFL, I actually retired after playing 6 years, never got cut. One of my best friends on the team, he actually shot himself in the head in front of the Kansas City facility.
Whoa.
And after he did that, I kind of just fell out of love with the game. So I left. I'm one of the few people that played in the NFL that's never been cut. I walked off and left, went back to the University of Florida, finished up my degree, got a couple other degrees on the way. I got my master's in business.
Wow.
Okay.
I went to Harvard, got a business certificate.
Wow.
Yale, MIT, I got 2 business certificates. Wharton Business School.
Come on.
You just casually threw that out, Harvard, Yale. Hey, that's...
You know what I'm saying.
You did it the right way.
Right, yeah. And then I got a year left, and I'll be Dr. B. Siler.
Let's go. Let's go.
Doctor.
Let's go. Yeah. Excellent.
Emphasis.
Dr. Siler. All right, Dr. Siler.
I'm going to call you Dr. Siler.
Dr.
now.
Siler. We're going to speak it into existence.
Speak it into existence.
So
Dr.
Dr. Siler.
Siler. There
you
Let's
go.
switch gears and talk about Legacy Pro Sports. What was the inspiration behind it? And tell us what the organization is exactly.
Okay, so when I got done playing in the NFL, I basically went and ran a Fortune 500 company for about 2.5 years, CEMEX, one of the biggest cement companies in the world.
Okay.
I basically managed the ready mix division. I was one of the managers.
Oh, wow.
Right, so I was doing that. I thought I was living a pretty good life, right? I was making good money, had a company car, company credit card. I had full autonomy, so I didn't have to get up and check into work. So I thought that I was doing good.
Okay.
Until one day, about 6 of my guys, just guys that I played with in the NFL, they came to me and they was like we're having problems getting these disabilities, right?
Wow.
Like, there's no way that we can get to it. We keep getting denied. So they came to me, the smart guy,
Right.
bring me the problem and see if I can resolve it. And the more I started digging into the paperwork, how the system worked, all of that
Right.
stuff, it killed me. It crushed me at everything that I found out. Like, wow, you have this that's supposed to be available to us, but first of all, nobody really knew about these disabilities. And then the
Right.
second thing is, after you found out about these disabilities, then the process was incredibly hard for you to do it. So fast forward,
Wow.
I basically, those 6 guys, I helped them to get the disability. All 6 of them ended up getting it after failing.
Wow.
And I found a statistic that said 5% of all eligible
Right.
football players were receiving any kind of disability from the benefits department. And I said, somebody's got to do something about it.
Right.
So I said,
you
Dr.
did it.
Siler to the rescue.
why not doctors?
Why not Dr. Siler?
Come on,
Why not
Dr.
Dr.
Siler.
Wow. I love it.
So a lot of them that do play in the NFL, we hear the stories, right? They get the concussions, they have so many problems afterwards. Not having disability, what would make the NFL just say, okay, you don't get disability? Is that they didn't know about it or they didn't meet requirements?
I think it would be the same reason that the NFL kind of made it like, this big settlement, this concussion settlement, was to help players or the new rules would have helped them in some kind of way.
Right.
That's not my opinion at all, right? I was in that concussion settlement.
Right.
They put me in the front of the newspaper in that settlement because I was basically trying to raise my hand and say, look, there's something wrong with the settlement, right? But they had put it on TV that everybody was getting $1 million, right? And all former players was like, well, shoot, I love the settlement. I'm just gonna sign up for my $1 million. They just gonna hand you $1 million? I said, how does that make sense to all of y'all? You think that's what's about to happen?
Yeah.
The math is not math.
Somebody read this thing, read it, and it shows you that, you know, the baselines and the stuff that we later found out with the differential treatment to people of color, how they started and how smart we were supposed to be compared to, you know, people that wasn't of color.
Right.
It was things that I was trying to raise my hand and say, guys, we can't do this. But, you know, they had everybody tricked. Like they always gonna get paid. So, you know.
They tricked us too.
Yeah, that's how they do. That's how they do.
Wow. We got so much to cover. We got to take a short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Dr. Brandon Siler.
That was good. Back to the show, guys. We're joined again with the Dr. Brandon Siler, ex-NFL turned athlete, entrepreneur, helping other athletes live healthier lives after the game. So welcome back to the show.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
So you mentioned athletes and their mental health, recovery, helping them get their lives back together. Tell us some of the resources you have for Pure Recovery.
Well, how I kind of got involved with Pure, I get guys 3 different disabilities. One's a orthopedic disability called line of duty. There's a neurocognitive disability, which is a neural state, and then there's total and permanent disability. Total and permanent a lot of times deal with anxiety, depression, when guys have had TBIs. They might have substance abuse issues, all of that sort of thing. So I had a player that was going through rough times, you know, right on that line of like commit suicide and just had a very hard battle with drugs and alcohol. So I said, I got to find him somewhere to get treatment. I looked up a place in California, and the name was Pure Recovery, and it was the only place that I really could find that was just for athletes, right?
Wow.
He didn't want to go anywhere where he was going to be with Joe Schmo off the streets that didn't understand what he was going through, because us as professional athletes, we deal with similar shit, you know? So, oh, sorry about that, dude. I'm supposed to be cussing.
We can leave it out.
You good.
I found him a place out in California, sent him to the place. He missed 4 flights because he just couldn't make it to the flight. You know, he was having a bender or whatever, whatnot. Finally got him on a flight. He goes out to California. He stays out there for 30 days. They gave him, he went to see psychiatrists, psychologists, neurologists, neuropsychs, but he also had a private chef that cooked the meals.
Oh, wow.
He was getting massage therapy and chirotherapy, TMS therapy, biofeedback, neurofeedback, brain mapping.
Wow.
So they really gave him the gauntlet of treatment, and it was like glam treatment, right?
It sounds.
They was in California, and these houses that we have out there, they are anywhere from $2 to $4 million houses. They're staying out there, and then they go right down the street to treatment, right? Because guys that's used to living like that, you have to put them in that kind of situation. So he went out there. When he came back, 3 months later, he hadn't had a drink, hadn't done any drugs. He credited me with getting his relationship back with his baby mama. And I said, what was that?
Wow.
So the next day, I grabbed my business partner. I said, we got to go see this place. And we flew out there. We met the lady. She was an older lady, and she was really struggling because she wanted it to be a sports a place for only athletes. However, she couldn't have a way to find athletes that needed this treatment. And here I am walking in the door with thousands. I had about 3,000 players at that time.
Wow.
And I mean, countless people that would benefit from getting that kind of treatment. So we made a deal, and I owned a part of the facility, 25% of it, for 2.5 years. she came to a point where she was like, okay, well, I done got out of debt. I'm done with this.
Right.
I can't do it anymore. You know, my husband's getting older, so I'm going to have to shut it down. I said, shut it down? Oh, no. So where are the players going to go if you shut this place down, right? So I got my business partner. I said, look, I got to go. I got to buy this thing.
Yeah.
So last year, I think it was April, bought 100% of the facility.
Woo, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So over the past 2.5 years, we've treated over 350 players for anxiety, depression, substance abuse, TBIs, all of that sort of thing. We got a 95% success rate.
That's awesome.
So
Wow.
changing lives, saving marriages,
That's
everything.
awesome.
So
I think what I like the most is you're helping them on their level.
Yeah.
Because if you're helping an athlete, you have to help them at that point where they are.
Yes.
That's dope.
yeah, and it's a shame that it gets to that point, right? Because I think that there should be preventative measures, and that brings me to my next thing. Like, you have to address it from a preventative way, right? And how do you get past that, right? Because there's a stigma, right? I think, and what my next project is to put this curriculum that we have on college campus
That's good.
for student athletes.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that you can address them preventatively. If you wait until something happens, or you try to identify with guys that you can see something is going wrong with them, then you're going to miss a big population that can benefit from this mental health work, right? So I say we put it in the curriculum on college campuses. That way we treat everybody. And the things that we do, the brain mapping, the neuroscience, like, it's fun, right? When you get kids or adults that's athletes and they competitive, you can take a picture of your brain and see what parts aren't operating the right way.
Yeah.
Right.
Hook up a machine to that part of your brain, and then have reactions of how you would react in a situation now, and then hook it up to that part of your brain and let them see how it reacts on a simulator. So in this case, one example, we have an airplane that you can fly. And if you're reacting the same way that you always was reacting before the treatment, you can't move the plane. So you're sitting there with your brain trying to get this plane to go left, right, up, down, and you're like, you trying hard. After you get the treatment, it teaches you how to use that part of your brain, how to do it more efficiently, how to react differently to that same trigger, right? So now, after treatment, and as treatment go along, you see that plane start to move. Now I can get it to go through hoops and bounds.
Oh, wow.
And you have to treat it, and you can do that kind of treatment. And for college kids, for athletes that want to perform at their highest level,
Right.
if you give them a tool like that and say, look, you can compete with your mind. The
That's
same way
good.
that you go lift weights, you can go work your mind and get better in your reaction time and the way that you feel. All of that is all performance-based.
Wow.
Send
I
that
need
out.
that machine.
I need that machine too.
I need it in my house
At work.
right now.
In this office.
But oh my God, you gave us so much good information. I hate that we're out of time. We gotta have you come back.
Oh, yeah.
You
so
and
we
the
can
family.
continue the
We'll
the
do it.
whole
The whole
family.
squad.
That's my squad.
So that we can continue the conversation. Thank you so much for being here. But guys, that's it. That's our show. Gone for the holidays, so I didn't have his little help around the house, so he came back last night.
I'm sure he was excited to get back home.
He was.
Yeah.
And so was the dog.
Oh, Tyson was gone.
Tyson has a whole jail cell. So my husband found this new cage.
Okay.
And it literally looks like a jail cell. I have to take a picture and
You
bring
need
it
to take
tomorrow.
a picture.
It's so sad.